comes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow! In your life, have you seen anything like that?
Coming to you live from behind the pine curtain, this is 903 Sports. I am your host, Cameron Brown, joined today by Trent Sansom and Hunter Shattuck. Just got done watching a tremendous golf tournament at the Masters this year. Patrick Reed is your 2018 Masters champion, shooting 15 under today, holding off Ricky Fowler at 14 and Jordan Spieth at 13 under. What a golf tournament this week. This is one of the best Masters I've seen in a few years. So, Trent, I'll start with you. Give me a recap and some thoughts from this week.
All right. Well, like you said, it's the Masters is all you need to know. Masters is my personal favorite sports event of all time. This Masters, I would say for me, is probably the best Masters I've ever watched. I really enjoyed getting to watch Jordan make a good start to the Masters, and then he kind of fell off there. But then he came back today, as we all know. And then it was awesome watching Reed play, and it was cool to see. It was cool to see, or to hear about Tiger, shooting 300 today. It was good for him. Good for him to finish on. I will say I am disappointed that I didn't get to watch the last round today because I was at a lunch that took about 6 hours. So I got to watch the last two holes of Reed's on the way home. So over to one of y'all.
It was good to see Patrick Reed finally win the green jacket, and I feel bad for Ricky. I feel bad for Ricky. Ricky deserves a major. He's a great player. He's just come up short so many times, but I thought the back nine of this Masters was unreal because you had Jordan making a huge push, you had Patrick Reed trying to hold him off, Ricky's making a run, and John Rahm was right there in the mix for a little while. DJ had a eagle putt on 15 to get in the mix, so there were so many moments where you thought somebody might catch Patrick Reed, and Patrick Reed just held him off, and he earned the championship this year. So, Hunter, what about you? Give me some thoughts of this week.
Man, so going into today, actually, I was kind of afraid that it was going to be a little underwhelming. Because Patrick was up by 3 over Rory, who was up by 2 over Ricky. So there were 5 shots between first and third. And so all it took was just Patrick Reed playing solid today, shooting 3 for under, and it wouldn't have been a contest. And it would have just been like a snooze fest the entire back nine. But luckily, this sounds horrible, but he got off to a rough start, kind of brought some people back in it. And then the names that we wanted to see kind of got hot and made a push. And, man, it was one of the most exciting Sundays at Augusta I remember. Maybe the most exciting I've ever seen. But, so much happened. Jordan Spieth made a push he almost shot the course record. He could birdie 18 for 62, which has never been done at Augusta. And that would have put him to that would have put him to 15, which would have put him in a playoff. But he hooked it left off the tee on 18, which cost him. But, man, he played some good golf today.
Yeah, he did.
Boy, it was fun to watch. My goodness.
I didn't get to watch that.
Yeah, man. Awesome. So much happened. There were so many times that, I don't know. We'll get into it more when we break down what happened with each player. But right. Man, it was, wow, so much happened today. It was crazy. It was just wild.
Y'all going to have to fill me in. I was checking the I had the Masters app before, so I was checking it while I was eating and talking. Like I said, I had some lunch with some old people from church. I don't know how that can get. Down lunch, and then you're at dinner all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But I was keen.
What'd you think?
The leaderboard, but I would have loved to watch it.
It was of the week this week.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? I don't know.
Man,
I know you're a pretty big Patrick Reed fan. Actually, probably the only true Patrick Reed fan that I know. So I know you're pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm happy for my boy Patrick Reed. I think he takes a lot of crap, but undeservingly so.
Oh boy.
No.
Question. Why don't you like him?
Man,
is it the whole Georgia thing getting kicked off the team?
No, that doesn't help his cause. I don't know. I like the guy. I'm very lukewarm. Like if he weren't an American hero in the Ryder Cup, I wouldn't like him. But he literally carries the country on his shoulders every other year, and so I don't dislike the guy. But compared to Ricky and Jordan Spieth and those guys, I would have rather seen them win by far. But I was pulling for Patrick Reed over Rory.
But let me ask you, Hunter. Let me ask you this. So, did you see Patrick Reed's interview after the round yesterday?
I didn't. I was. Wait, yesterday?
Yeah, after the round.
Yes.
Like their presser. So
yeah.
I mean, he just talked about. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun playing with Rory. We always seem to have a good time when we play with each other and all that." So he was pretty calm. And then Rory was like,
yeah.
"Oh, I hope to come spoil the party," and that didn't happen. So I mean, Rory was the guy that kind of came off. I mean, I like it. I like the trash talk, but
so I'll say this about Rory, and like obviously everybody knows that Tiger kind of carries this aura about him. Like Tiger obviously moves the needle, like ratings wise. People show up to the tournaments to watch Tiger, and he kind of gets a pass. Like when Tiger says arrogant things, you're like, yeah, that's right. Like I love it because he's Tiger and he's arguably the best of all time, right? I feel like Rory gets that pass and kind of carries more of that aura about him than any of the younger players. Like Jordan could never come out and say the things that Rory does and kind of get away with it and Jordan doesn't really move the needle like Rory does. Like he doesn't have that superstar power that goes with him. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's right.
I don't really know how to explain it. But so like when Rory said that stuff yesterday, I was like, oh man, good for him. Like that's cool. Like good for him being confident, you know. But I guess now that you say it, I was like, wow. Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that was kind of, I don't know, arrogant.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was cool, and I thought it made the narrative for today like even stronger and really cool matchup to see. I don't have a problem with that stuff, which is kind of why I like Patrick Reed so much.
Hey, you know, I talk trash with the best of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love a guy that's got all the comments in the world in himself, which is why I respect Patrick Reed for that. But go ahead, Trent.
Oh, no, nothing. I was just kind of giggling to myself because I was doing a lot of trash talking in that group text about Tiger all week. I was just,
here we go.
I was wondering how y'all felt about that.
What is that, 3 minutes into the pod and he's already bringing up Tiger?
Well, Trent, since you said
it. That's the word of the week, baby. Cooked.
Since you said it, Trent, let's go ahead. I wanted to talk about Patrick Reed first, but let's talk about Tiger, Trent. So
let's do it.
I'll give you the floor, Trent. Go ahead. Say what you need to say about Tiger after this week.
Let me tell you, son. I know you were quivering on day 2 when he was because I know you were shaking in your boots.
I was sweating a few bullets when Tiger was coming down the stretch.
But honestly, look, here's the thing. There's people out there that hate Tiger, and there's obviously people out there that love Tiger. I don't hate Tiger, and I obviously don't love him as much as y'all do. I like the guy. It would be cool to see him in contention. I think it's always been, I just hear all this get up and go for him. And I honestly, I'll say this right now. I don't ever think he's going to win a pitcher. Ever.
Wait, say that one more time.
I don't ever think he's going to win another major again.
Wow.
He seems like I was watching the tournament with Cash this week, and like I said, I've watched all of day 1, all of day 2, and all of day 3 really. And we both. I was talking to Cash. I feel like one of the reasons Tiger played bad is because he played so good coming up into this tournament. I just feel like he felt the pressure of everybody rooting for him and putting the money on him and him being a hot name. And I don't know. I don't think he can handle it.
Oh, I don't think pressure has anything to do with Tiger playing bad. I think he just played bad golf this week. I mean, it happens. Golf's hard. I mean, he didn't make a lot of putts. He didn't hit a ton of greens. He just didn't really play that solid this week.
And I know that sounds stupid to say. I just think he's a different player. I mean, obviously he's a different player now than he was, but I think mentally he's just a different player. Like, because a win at the Masters would mean so many things for him, and I think that's a lot of pressure.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's won 4 green jackets. I mean,
but in the last 10 years, he's
honestly,
it's been 13 years since he's won one.
I don't know if Tiger feels that pressure. I mean, I think if Tiger.
Oh, you telling me a man that hasn't won a major in 10 years and he played good until they're coming up and he was a name at Vegas, a hot name to put the money on? You tell me you don't feel that pressure?
I don't think if Tiger never wins another major, I don't think he's obviously going to be upset, but I don't think he's going to be just horribly depressed and disappointed about it. I mean, he's won 14 majors. He's one of the best players of all time.
I'm not saying
Tiger has nothing left to prove in my eyes. I'd love to see him win again, and I think he will, but I don't think he's feeling that kind of pressure. I don't know.
Go ahead. I know you want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, there's so many things that I want to say.
Go ahead. Tiger. Let it out.
So, what was that, Trent?
Well, do you want me to say my one last thing to Cameron?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Well, so Cameron, what I was going to say is, like, I'm not saying at the end of the day, if he never wins one, he's going to be depressed. I'm saying when he's playing that good before a major, and he's the name in Vegas, and everybody's talking about, it, and the ratings are going up, and it's, the Bridgestone balls are selling 115% better than they were before. Like, he's feeling anybody. You would be stupid not to feel that pressure. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't feel that pressure.
To that, so I have kind of something to say about that. Is, man, we get so lost because he came back really quickly, like, to playing good golf. You know what I mean? Like, at the President's Cup, which is in the beginning of October, he hadn't even started hitting full shots yet. And this was, 6 months ago? He wasn't even cleared to hit full golf shots.
Wow,
and it had been 2 years almost since he had played competitive golf before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, obviously I'm backtracking because it was literally my pick 5 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, now that I don't know, but just I'm trying to be real and not, taking my bias out of it. I'm trying to be optimistic and, like, take a broad view of what's going on. He has been playing golf for 6 months, like, actually playing golf. Okay, so this week I guess to your point on expectations and pressure and stuff, man, because all his whole career he always said, "I'm coming to win. I'm coming to win." Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to win. And, man, he hadn't done that this time. Like, this comeback and all his pressers, he's like, well, I just want to go out there and continue to work on things. My game feels pretty good, but I'm just looking forward to going out there and competing. He hasn't one time said, like, I'm going to go out and win. Like, that's the only reason I'm here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like all the pressure, I get that there's pressure there from other people, but I think he's handling it the right way. Because internally, I don't think he's putting any pressure on himself.
I agree.
Because I think he understands what I was just talking about how he hasn't been playing golf for very long. And, like, this go round, like, obviously, he's 42 and he's been playing forever, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Man, but about his game itself, I feel like he just hasn't pieced it all together yet. Like, you didn't get to watch much of it today, but, man, he drove the ball like a dream, which never happens. But, man, like, he said in his post-run interview, like, he had total control over his driver today. Now, isn't that scary? Like, Tiger
he played
Woods
well today.
He hit his irons worse than he has all week, and he putted worse than he has all week, and he still shot 3 under. I mean, he hit his irons like garbage today and putted bad. He missed 4 putts inside 5 feet today and still shot 3 under.
Yeah, that was kind of the story of the week for Tiger.
Yeah, today he drove it like a champ. Yesterday he hit his irons really well, and the first 2 days he kind of just grinded well. Like, he just didn't really have much. But, like, I don't know. So there were flashes. Like, if he could hit the driver every week like he did today, he'd probably win 5 times a year just because he's so good at everything else.
Yeah.
But he's never going to drive it like he did today every time. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think if we just try hard to stay patient and not get our own expectations up, I think he'll be fine, and he'll start to piece everything together. His distance control is horrible this week. He hit a lot of shots online with the wrong distance, and at Augusta, if you're 15 feet off on distance, it's coming off of a slope, and you've got 50 feet, where any other tournament you've got 15 or 18 feet. So maybe his lack of being 100% sharp has been masked a little bit by not playing at Augusta in these other tournaments. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but Trent, to your point about you don't know if he ever wins a major again, I don't. I would like to think he's going to, because I think if he stays healthy, he's good enough where he's going to have weeks where he puts it all together. But I know that he won't ever be able to do it like he used to and win with his B or C game. I think the guys that are playing now are too good too often.
Exactly.
They are and it's not because they were good players when he was winning a bunch, like David Duval, Phil Mickelson, Ernie Els, like guys like that were just great. But I feel like these younger guys like Ricky and Jordan, DJ, JT, Rory. I mean, I've already said Rory. I don't know. Like those guys, they play well a lot because I don't know, man. Like I just feel like Tiger would always kind of I mean, heck, he went toe-to-toe with Bob May in the 2000 PGA. Like, who the heck's Bob May? You kidding me? Like, when was the last time we had a no-name competing for a major in the last 5 years? That just hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened.
You would throw out the name like Danny Willett. Well, Danny Willett was number 11 in the world when he won the Masters. So, like, the good players, the good young players now, play well a lot. So Tiger's not going to be able to just, like, oops, like, I showed up with my B game and just got lucky and nobody played well, and so my B game was good enough. So that's the only reason I think he may not win a major. Like, if he doesn't win a major, I don't think it'll be because like he just sucks as a player. It's just going to be because he didn't put it all together. But
that's my whole point.
Yeah.
So,
I think there's no doubt he'll win on tour again because the fields aren't deep enough where he'll show up to a week like the Valspar when there are only one or two of those elite guys playing, and they may happen to have an off week, and he can beat those guys. Like, I still think Tiger's B game is better than just about everybody else's B game. But in a major, when all like 10 to 15 of those guys are in the field, one of them is going to be on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's basically my whole point was saying, like, it's not my whole point. I just don't think he's the same player. And then, I mean, like you said, I mean, you listed everybody. I mean, you still got Jason Day, John Rahm. I mean, you still got a ton of, there's a lot of cat daddies out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, like I was having an argument with Cash about Jack Nicklaus and Tiger, and he was telling me that, and I think Tiger is the best to ever do it, but he just was so sure that Jack, he was way better than Jack, and Jack didn't play against anybody. And I was thinking, like you said, Hunter, like, who did you say the PGA Championship was between him and who?
Bob May.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. That's my whole point. Like,
now,
to
Bob May's credit, if you ever go back and watch that tournament, like it's an awesome tournament, and Bob May shoots like 64 on Sunday in the final group with Tiger, and Tiger just so happens to also do that and then beat him in a playoff. So it's not like Bob May was shooting 74 and Tiger just shot 73 and beat him. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, there's a lot to me. We're in the day and age where, there may not be somebody as captivating as Tiger in the public's opinion. But the field is just so deep, and there's so many A-plus players. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the difference.
Hunter, let me ask you this, Hunter. So, do you honestly think Tiger will win another major?
That gun to my head, I have to choose.
You have to pick. You have to answer.
I'm still going yes.
I think you have to.
I think he's too good. From what I've seen so far, I don't think he gets the Jack, but I think he wins another one.
I think he will win another major.
If he stays healthy, I mean, there's I feel horrible putting something past the guy just because you never know. I mean, he's the one guy that you can't really put a limit on. But unless something changes and he figures out how to drive the ball consistently in the fairway, I don't think he can win more than one. But I mean, because anybody can get hot with any part of their game at any time. So if his irons are solid, his putting is solid, and he drives it in the fairway, he's still the best player in the world. It's just he never drives it in the fairway. But if he just gets hot with the driver 1 week for 4 days in a row, he's going to win. It's just a matter of doing it.
And Trent, you say no, he will not win another major.
Yeah, no, I say no. To me, it's not I'm not trying to knock Tiger.
No, I completely understand.
It's a knock on it, but it's more of just wow, look at the guys he has to go against. This is the early 2000s.
Do you think it's a pressure thing or an age thing, or you think it's the competition?
I think it's – so, look, if we put it on the pie chart, I would say it's like 85% competition, 5% pressure, 5% age, and 5% injury. Like, it's just not the same player.
Okay, let me ask you this, and I'll circle this back. This is off topic, but do you think Phil wins another major, Trent?
No.
Okay, that's fair. If you'd have said yes, we would have gone in circles there. Okay, go ahead.
Cam, who has a better chance, Tiger or Phil?
To win another major, Tiger is 5 years younger, and he's in much better shape than Phil.
That's fair.
Fair. How, Trent?
Do what?
How does Phil have a better chance?
Phil doesn't have the same injuries as Tiger.
Tiger's in much he's in way better shape than Phil is.
Okay, and Tiger's
he's 5 years younger.
Justin Thomas is. Justin Thomas is skinny fat.
No, Justin Thomas is a pretty in shape guy.
No, I'm not saying he's not in shape. I'm just saying, to me, being in shape doesn't mean Paul Casey looks like he could rip somebody's head off.
Dude, Paul Casey has the biggest forearms on the planet.
Yeah, but Paul Casey isn't, he's in the top 5 guy,
Right.
I mean, he's a good player. I'm just saying.
All right,
like,
let's move on.
Yeah, we need to move on. We need to talk about the Masters champ, Patrick Reed. So, Hunter, I'll let you start and talk about Patrick Reed. And let me start with this, Hunter. Do you think someone who plays a draw like Patrick Reed does has an advantage at the Masters? Do you think the course sets up better for a guy like that?
Everybody says it does, but it was weird because you saw him playing a lot of fades off the tee, which is something
Right.
he usually doesn't do. Like
Right.
he usually just sticks to his draw, but for whatever reason, he started working on a fade this week for Augusta. So, I mean, what does that tell you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the holes obviously favored 13. If you can't turn it over, then you really can't get home in 2. So, yeah, it favors a draw. But important holes like 11, that's a fade. 18 for sure is a fade. 15 favors a fade because you got to keep it down the right side.
Right.
17, it doesn't really matter. 14 doesn't really matter. So, man, I don't really think it matters either way. History has said that you need to have to hit a draw. But, I mean, Jack Nicklaus has the most green jackets of anybody ever, and he played a fade. So
Exactly.
he's just better. Like, I think it matters more to just be flat out good than it matters which direction you hit the ball.
Yeah, I've heard the draw favors and whatever. I don't think it matters. I think it matters who's playing the best golf, and
Yeah,
you
for
need
sure.
to work. You need to be able to work the ball both ways, but it's just
Look at-
whoever's hot and playing the best golf at that time. I think.
Yeah, you look at Danny Willett, who won it 2 years ago. Now he kind of like accidentally won it because Jordan gave it to him. But he did nothing but hit fades all over the whole golf course. He hit nothing but fades. He just knew where the ball was going, hit it where he was looking, and made putts. And that's really all you have to do.
Exactly.
But, I don't know, man. Patrick played really well for 3 days anyway. He didn't really have his best stuff today. But I don't think that was unexpected. I mean, when you play great for 3 rounds under that much pressure, never having won a major before, I don't think you can expect yourself to have everything the last day.
Right.
Man, it was kind of I don't want to say it was an underwhelming performance, but it's just kind of sad. Like of everything that everybody did today, I feel like the guy that kind of did the least ended up winning, outside of Rory, obviously. But like, I don't know, Patrick didn't really. What's that?
I agree. I just think he kind of earned the cushion the first 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy for me to say that now, but you can't take that away from him. Like, there's a reason he had a 3-shot lead because he played great the first 3 days. But it almost just felt like he just kind of stayed at the top of the mountain and waited for everybody to try and run up to him, and they just kind of passed out before they got to the top. And he was just like, "Oh well, I guess I'm here." You know what I mean?
Right. No, I was impressed by how he played pretty solid golf all day. I mean,
he made a couple clutch putts. The birdie at 12 was great. That was probably the biggest moment for him because it was slipping for sure. He had just bogeyed 11, and he gets to 12 and hits a mediocre shot in there, keeps it dry, which is good, but nothing special, and then rolls in about a 30-footer, and that was huge. And then he got that awesome break on 13 when he chunked it, and it looked like it went in the hazard, and it stayed up.
Yeah.
I mean, that was incredible.
That's when you know it's your week, when you have the ball stay up on 13 and the ball hit the hole on 17 like it did. Because I thought that ball was going long in the fringe. Yeah. And it was just his week. And when his ball hit the hole on 17, that's when I knew.
Yeah, for sure. It's his week. That ball was literally going 15 feet by because it hit the flag and still went 8 feet by.
Yeah. So you kind of agree that was kind of the moment when you kind of thought that was it for Patrick.
For his round, for his round, I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. He just never really looked like he had much control over anything today. But like you said, to his credit, man, he held it together. He grinded well. He made the putts when he had to. So good for him.
Yeah, he definitely earned it, I think, and I think he could win another Masters and some more majors. I think a guy that has that much confidence in himself. I mean, who knows what can happen? And I'm glad he finally got that major win. Trent, What about you? What do you think about? Give me some thoughts on Patrick Reed and his play this week.
I guess I just really watched Patrick Reed yesterday. I mean, I feel like they didn't show him too much the first 2 days. I mean, like I said, I watched the majority of it. Then, I mean, I also had stuff to do. But it was fun watching him and Mark Leishman play yesterday. I don't know. I mean, I don't know too much about Patrick Reed other than, like you said, Hunter, he's our Cam Morning all season American hero for the things he does at the Ryder Cup and stuff. And of course, he has that famous video of him shushing everybody. And Then Waganoff, Rory. I think this was it. They played in 16 or 17.
16.
16.
Oh, so that's coming up in 18 now. I mean, this year.
Yes,
right?
sir. Comes out in September.
In
Good.
France.
Yeah, and I've never ever like watched a Ryder Cup. Like I've always seen the highlights.
Oh, Trent, you got to watch this year.
Yeah,
You're
so
watching
excited.
this year.
Trent,
What's up?
you will love the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
That is my favorite sporting event, and I think it might be yours too if you watch it.
I bet it is. 'Cause I remember when we did that
It's
top
unbelievable.
5 sporting events. I think it was one of y'all's top, like number one.
It was my
Mhm.
first.
Yeah, so I definitely need to watch it. I can't believe I've never watched one before.
You will absolutely love it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But let's move on from Patrick. Let's talk about. I want to talk about Ricky for a little bit. And I think he's 30 years old now. Hunter, is that right?
28 to 30, something like that.
I think I looked it up the other day. And he was 30, and I was surprised by it. I think, but man, I think Ricky's one of the best golfers in the world. It blows my mind that he hasn't won a major championship yet. And I thought he might have a chance this year when Patrick Reed blew that putt by on 18. It was like 4 feet, but I don't know. It's just not happening for Ricky so far. But I think Ricky is going to win a couple majors in his career. It just might take longer than he would have liked or expected. But what do you think, Hunter? Do you think Ricky's going to be like a Kuchar guy or Steve Stricker that just couldn't win a major? Or
Man,
you think
I
one's
hope
coming?
not. He's too dang good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sitting there thinking about it today because he made a late push. I mean,
he did.
through 7 holes, he was 1 over on the day, and they weren't even showing him. He wasn't even in contention. And so he birdied 8 and 9 to make the turn at 10 under, which was within shouting distance because Reed was kind of piddling along, not really doing anything. And then he birdied 12. And when he birdied 12, I mean, to that back right hole location, he just took it right at it and then buried about a 12-footer right in the middle of the hole. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, this guy is too good to not win a major. I mean,
Exactly.
you just watch the way he makes putts and the way he hits the ball. And I don't know, like he carries himself with such a confidence in the way he swings at it. It's like he holds nothing back. I don't understand. I was sitting there thinking, like, how does this guy not win? I just don't get it. There's no hole in his game. He looks like he thinks all the right thoughts out there. Doesn't look like he beats himself up at all. But I don't know. He made a good run at it though. That birdie on 18 was so good.
Oh, that was a clutch birdie.
My goodness.
It put him right in the mix because at that time he's putting for birdie, and Patrick Reed's got that long putt on 17.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky's a great ball striker. He's a really good putter, I think. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he's
not like
one of the best putters in the world.
It's not like he blows golf tournaments. I mean, his performance at the Players 2 years ago was unreal. How clutch he was, birdie
Mhm.
17 like that. It just hasn't happened. It's just one of those things. Golf's hard. It hasn't come together for him, I guess, for a win. He's had some great
We were
finishes.
talking about the Ryder Cup in 2010. I think it was. They were playing at Celtic Manor over there in Europe, and he birdied. I think he birdied the last 4 holes in singles to have a match towards the end of the whole cup, and that was like his first year out on tour, and that was long-haired Ricky. And I remember thinking, this guy has got it.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryder Cup rookie to step up there and birdie the last 4 was just. I mean, it's incredible, and he just hasn't really, he just hasn't won a major. I don't get it because he finished top 5 in all 4 majors in 2014. So, I mean, he's had his chances. He's been there. He almost, because remember he was in the final group with, or second to last group with Phil in the 2014 PGA, and they finished in the dark. Remember that? And he finished second to Rory.
I remember that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's had so many chances and just hasn't been able to come through. But maybe because, go ahead.
I think Ricky, I was going to say this, has one of the best demeanors and one of the best attitudes and mental games on the PGA Tour from what I can see. He doesn't get down on himself. He's never too high, never too low. And I think that's a big strength of his, which blows my mind even more that he had won a major. So,
Yeah.
Well, Trent, let me get you in on this. What do you think? Do you think Ricky is going to win a major, or do you think he's just snake bit?
Take it to the bank, baby. You telling me that a man that has, you said he's 30?
He's 30 years
29.
old.
He's 29. I looked
He's
it up.
29?
He's 29? Okay.
Man, he still has like 30 more years. He's going to win a major.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think he's one of the best players in the world. It's just hadn't happened yet, but it will, I think. I'm glad we're on the same page with that. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised if he won multiple majors.
I think he will.
He's just so and I mean, it sounds cliche, but the guy just makes putts.
Yeah, he does.
And whenever you're in a major and you're in contention and you've got a guy that just makes everything, that's
especially
scary.
out there.
Yeah, that is scary. I mean, look at what Jordan Spieth does.
Oh.
I mean, gee, he just, especially at Augusta, he hasn't had his best putting year. He's actually had a really bad putting year statistically, but he gets to Augusta National and man, putts just go in. But
let's speaking of Jordan, let's talk about Jordan. That guy owns that golf course, and that's what his fifth time playing Augusta. Is that right?
Yeah.
And he's got top 10 every time he's played. He's been in contention.
He finished 11th. He finished 11th in 2000 or last year. He finished 11th
last year. Yeah, but he was in one of the final groups last year. Second or third to last group. He just played. Him and Ricky just played poorly last year. Just didn't have it. But I mean, his charge today, and I kind of had a feeling that he'd make kind of a push to maybe just to scare Patrick Reed, but I didn't think he'd have that though. No, I didn't think he'd have a real chance like that to. I mean, he birdies it. That ball didn't hit the tree on 18. I think he birdies it. And he's time for the lead, Patrick Reed. I mean, he got as an unlucky break catching that limb on 18 to make bogey.
Mm-hmm.
But his push today, that putt he had on 16, that was my favorite part of the tournament. And making that 30-footer straight up the hill on 16, that was incredible.
I went nuts, man.
I did too.
Oh my gosh,
if
I was pulling so hard for him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trent.
Well, I was going to say, I think if Spieth birdies 18, I think Patrick misses that putt.
You think? Because that putt would have been to force a playoff.
Well,
yeah, it's possible.
I mean, he snuck. I mean, did it not seem to y'all that he snuck it on the left side? Like it didn't lift in.
Yeah. No, he had Odell over there on that left edge.
Yeah, that was dangerously close.
Yeah. Well, that was the same putt Jordan had coming up there, and Jordan was surprised.
Snuck left on him.
Yeah, it went left.
So I mean, I just think if somebody's up there tied, whether it had been Ricky, if he would have had like a birdie somewhere else in the round, or Spieth made that putt on 18, someone sitting up there, tied. I think he might have pulled like a DJ, which is sad to say. I'm not meaning to, I only shame the DJ, but oh my.
So I've got a bold take on Jordan for you guys. You ready for this?
What's
Jordan
that?
Spieth will win more green jackets than Jack Nicklaus did.
I agree. He owns Augusta. I think he wins. I
think he wins 7 or 8 Masters before he retires.
Dude, that is bold.
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this.
Okay, let's think about this. So
he's
went
25 right now.
He's 24.
He
went.
Oh yeah.
No, he's 23.
No, he's 24. I think he's 24. I think.
So he went second in 2014, first in 2015, second in 2016, 11th last year, and third this year.
And
so
he should have 2 already.
He's played 5 times, and he's finished top 3 4 times. And one of those second places, he had a 5-shot lead going to the back 9 and fell apart like a $2 suitcase.
I'm telling you right now, he'll at least tie Jack, but I think he wins 7 of those things, maybe 8.
Oh gosh, there's something about that guy. I don't know.
And he loves the golf course. He's an incredible putter, and that's what you have to do out there, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And he does it better than anybody on tour. And I know everyone's been talking about how his putting's been bad lately, but I don't know if it's been bad. It just may be bad for his standards. But I don't know, man. I really think he has a chance to beat Jack's record, which that'd be really cool. I mean, no one plays as good as Jordan does out there. I mean, the craziest thing for this whole golf tournament for me was Jordan was 9 shots back of Patrick Reed. And did he get tied with him?
Yeah, he got tied with him.
He was tied with him at one point, yeah.
At 14.
It was on 14.
So
Jordan,
he's at negative 4. I mean, at under 14.
Yeah, and Jordan had that eagle putt on 13, which I think that was the best golf shot of the tournament. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, that was so good.
What was that, a 3-wood or a hybrid he hit on 13?
Yeah.
Oh, that was...
I mean, the stones that it took to hit that golf shot.
Yeah. He thought it might have been a little short. Gosh. Took a nice bounce up there, and I was surprised he missed that putt.
Yeah.
Just didn't do what he
Everybody missed that putt, though.
Yeah, Patrick Reed did too.
Yeah, everybody missed it over there on that left side like he did.
All right, guys, so one last player I want to talk about, Rory McIlroy. And after yesterday, watching his interview, I thought Rory was the man coming into today. I expected a 4 or 5 under out of Rory, and he didn't play well. He went back to old Rory and putted really poorly today. And Mm-hmm. He was out of it by 13. So, Hunter, I'll start with you again. What do you think about Rory? Do you think he'll ever win that career Grand Slam, or you think it's just not meant to be for him out there?
That's such a good question, because that's twice now he's been in great shape to win the Masters and completely fallen apart. And I think it was 2011. It was the first time he was ever really close to winning a major, like right there in the lead. And he had a big lead, I think a 4 or 5 shot lead going to the last round, and made the turn with a 3 shot lead, I think, and then went triple, bogey, double, or something like that at the turn, and just fell apart and never sniffed it. And then this year, obviously, showed up with 0 game day. He started missing everything right. He didn't drive it well, which is not like him at all. And that was horrible.
Yeah, his putting was bad today.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I feel like more so than any other great player, he's extremely, extremely inconsistent.
Right.
He's very, very momentum driven, and I feel like, because like you look at what he did at Bay Hill, he finished birdied 5 of the last 6 holes to win, and when he gets going, it's so good, and it's probably better than anybody in the world when they're on. But when it gets off, man, it's just like everything kind of folds, and he looks like the golf course is just beating him up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have much fight back in him, you know? It's not very often that he'll get off to a rough start like that and then just flip a switch. It's like if he doesn't have it that day, then he doesn't have it. And he has those demons at Augusta, and that's a place where they go every year, and it's never going to change. So I don't know if he ever gets it done. I really don't. And it's weird because he's such a great player, but I don't know if he does. I really wouldn't be surprised either way, honestly.
I'm going to say this. I think if Rory makes that putt on 2 where he stuffed that, I don't know what he hit in there, but he was 190-something yards out, 64 feet. I think if he makes that putt, I think his day's completely different.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he shoots a couple under and may win the golf tournament. I think that putt set the tone for his putting for the whole day, and he just never recovered. You talk about defining moments of the tournament. Like, that's probably the most underrated defining moment. He makes an awesome par on 1, and Patrick bogeys momentum swing there. Then Rory literally hits it 371 yards on the second hole, hits it to 5 feet, then misses and just goes deflated from then on out. He was flat for the rest of the round. Because he bogeyed 3, didn't he?
Yes.
I think
he did. He missed another 8-foot putt.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just set the tone for the round. So, what about you, Trent? You think Rory wins the Masters, or you think he just won't ever get that green jacket?
Listen, Spieth is going to be winning the Masters so many times. He ain't. I was having an argument with Cash this week, and he was trying to tell me what's given. I get it. Tiger is, how many green jacket has Tiger won?
Tiger is 4.
4, yeah. I tried to tell Cash, given Spieth's only played it, this is his 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
That Spieth owns Augusta, not Tiger. Spieth has led more rounds than Tiger. Or no, the same.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that is an insane stat.
And Tiger has played 40-something more rounds or 50-something more rounds?
No, way more. I think
more than that.
82 more rounds than Jordan has.
It's got to be close to 100.
Oh, really? I thought Tiger only played 76 rounds up there.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay, anyways. But my point is, man, I mean, I'm not even, I don't even care for Rory. And so anything I say about him is just going to be doing confirmation biased. And I hate when Cowherd does that. And I love him, but I'm not going to. So I don't know. I don't think he'll ever win. I hope he doesn't ever win. So but that's just me.
Like you said, Hunter, Rory just doesn't seem like the guy that has a lot of fight back and firepower in him. If he's hot, he's hot and he's rolling with it. If he's not playing good, he just rolls with it, and then that's the end of the week for him. He just kind of seems like that kind of guy, and that's okay. I mean, it's
that's why he won his first 2 majors by 8 shots.
I don't want to Go ahead, Hunter. Go ahead.
Like you said, he just got the momentum going and just didn't stop, and everything fell in, and he was hitting the ball great, and he just rolled with it. And then that's also why he misses so many cuts. You never see a great player miss that many cuts. It just doesn't happen.
Right. I mean, I don't want to be that guy and make an outlandish claim because I don't know Rory personally, but I just don't think he loves the game as much as some of these guys on tour.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm not.
It just doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't look like it, does it?
Yeah, and maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know him, but it just looking at him and sees see how he plays sometimes, where he just gets off to a bad start, and that's it. He doesn't usually come back from it. It's not like he gives up. He just, I don't know, he just doesn't have that fight back, I guess, like you said. But Rory's an interesting guy. He's been an intriguing guy to watch. He's won, 3 majors now?
Mm-hmm.
Is it
4?
3?
Wait.
4. No.
Rory?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, that's a heck of a golf career, in my opinion. He's not 30 yet, is he?
No.
Yeah. So, all right, let me get this in real quick, Trent. I'll ask you this. So, what do you think your favorite moment of this golf tournament is while we wrap things up?
When Reed, just coming as one of the only plays I got to watch today is when Reed made that putt on 18.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when he made that stroke and he putted it, right when he got up to the hole, I thought he missed it.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to dive left, didn't it?
Yeah. And like I said, I was out to eat with my mom and, some church people today, and she was driving, and I let out a big old whoop, and I think I almost hit a wreck. But I mean, I had a couple dollar bills on it, so I was really excited. Probably my favorite moment. So
well, let me ask you this too, Trent. So, what do you think you'll remember most 5 years from now?
The money I made on that putt.
Gosh, that's fair.
No, honestly, what I remember the most is something I didn't even watch, which was Spieth's round. I'm going to watch it like tomorrow or whenever I get a chance. I'm going to get to watch the highlights.
I'm going to say my favorite moment was Spieth's putt on 16. That was such a good putt. I put in the call too, Hunter. I said he's making this putt.
No, you didn't.
I did. I swear.
Man,
I also said he's going to make the putt on 15 though, and that didn't work out. So.
Oh my gosh! If he'd made that putt on 15, I'd have lost it.
Yeah, that would have been sick. That'd be my favorite moment, and I think what I'm going to remember most in 5 years is Spieth's charge today, shooting 64,
you think so?
bogey in the last. In my opinion, yeah. And I love Patrick Reed, and I'm glad he won this thing. But the way Spieth plays out there and his Sunday charge, that was incredible to me. So go ahead, give me your favorite moment, and give me 5 years from now.
See, I would like to tell you that I'm going to remember Jordan's round in 5 years, but man, I just don't know. Like, I mean, that's not going to be. I don't think that's going to be what sticks out to me the most, just because he came up short. I mean, I don't know. That's like if the Patriots would have lost to the Falcons, they would have come back and then lost on a last-second play.
True.
It was a great comeback, but who won? It's all for nothing.
Yeah, I think golf is different to me though. I mean,
yeah, I guess.
I mean, like a guy like Phil. I mean, what if Phil would have shot 61 today? I mean, I would remember that for.
Think about this.
Forever.
Think about if I guess that's true, because when Tiger shot 62 with the Honda a few years ago, I couldn't tell you who won that week.
Yeah, exactly.
But Tiger shot 62 on Sunday. So there's that.
Also, to me, a lot. I mean, there were 3 guys that had a chance to shoot 63 or break the Masters record speed. Paul Casey and Webb Simpson was like 700 at one point today.
Yeah.
So a lot of the low rounds were something I'll remember for a long time today. But
yeah, I don't know, man. What I was thinking about today, can you imagine if it would have been Tiger and Jordan situation? Like Tiger would have been charging up the leaderboard. It would have been unreal. I mean, just the
pandemonium. And Trent
the atmosphere would have been absolutely unbelievable.
Oh my gosh! Shaking in his boots.
If we'd have been doing this pod after Tiger wins the U.S. Open, we're going to do a pod, and Trent, I'm letting you have it.
Trent won't be on the. No, Hunter, I've learned my lesson. Hunter. I'm not putting in any more Tiger calls until it happens. I'm just gonna let it happen.
That's the thing, guys. Now, hey, see, I hated to have to root against Tiger this week. Honestly, I couldn't really even pull against him. I wanted him to do something. I wanted to eat my words so bad.
No, you didn't.
Well, no, I really did. I'll be honest. I really did. But
no one likes being right more than you, Trent. You know that with all your heart.
You're so used to being right. Being wrong don't feel good.
That ain't true. That ain't true. That's a whole other story.
You've been talking to your orange blood buddies a little bit too much.
All I'm saying is that man, like for instance, I'll put it this way. Like I put money on Reed yesterday. Made a couple bets, a couple people. And, man, I don't know if I'll ever do that with golf again, because when you got somebody like Spieth making a charge and you want him, like you're kind of, like you want him to pull it off, and then again, you're not fully with it because you made a bet on somebody else, it sucks.
Right.
Man, I don't know. Like,
so
don't ever make a bet if it's not your favorite player.
Yeah, it's fair.
If it had been Speed's place, then I say go for it. But for me, it was hard for me because I wanted Reed to win. Then again, it'd been awesome to see Speed pull it off.
Yeah. So Cam, you asked about like the best moment of the week or the day or whatever, and it kind of sucked because like if you had to think about the most iconic moments of the day, probably you'd get to 5 of them before you got to one that actually happened by the guy that won. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Jordan shot on 13 is one of the best golf shots I've ever seen.
Oh,
his
so
putt
good.
on 16 was unbelievable. Ricky's birdie on 18 was unreal.
Yeah, that was huge.
I mean, just a ton of good golf shots under a ton of pressure, and none of them were by the guy that won. I guess Reed's putt on 12 would be next, but
that was big. That was a really good putt.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to say that it was the Jordan's putt on 16 just because it was when that went in. I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to do it.
Yeah, I did too. I had a feeling he might.
Because before that, it almost felt like a pipe dream. Like, oh man, this is kind of cool, but it's going to fizzle out. And then he made that,
and you're like, whoa. And then you think he has a chance to make the putt on 17. I mean,
yeah, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like this guy is just unbelievable.
Man. It was a heck of a golf tournament. I enjoyed it. I'm sad it's over, but y'all got anything else about this week?
No, I'm just going to go sit and lick my wounds from getting my hopes up about Jordan.
Yeah, I'm going to do that about Tiger. Trent, I'll go ahead and let you know, pal. You were right. No top 10 for Tiger.
I'm going to bask in the glory, baby. I'm about to play basketball in 10 minutes, and I have a feeling, things been going right this week for me. Had a great week. Great calls. Great golf insight before it started, So, my shot's going to be falling today.
Don't get used to it, Trent.
We need to get a little bit more. We need to get a little bit more golf on the pod.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this. We need to do We need to do a major recap for all 4. I love
like
that.
I'm in.
I like that. All right, boys. That's all we got today. This is 903 Sports. We'll see you next time.